You're a disgrace, my dad yelled as I was kicked out of my own home. 15 years later, my cousin's lie unraveled, but it was too late. I still remember the sound of the door slamming behind me, my dad's voice echoing in my skull. You're a disgrace, Nathaniel. Get out of my house. I walked away with nothing but a backpack, a broken future, and a child I didn't even father. 15 years later, a DNA test would uncover the truth, and the same people who threw me away would suddenly come crawling back. But by then, I wasn't the same boy they abandoned. If you've ever been blamed for something you didn't do, if you've ever wished for justice after being betrayed, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because what happened to me is one of the most painfully satisfying revenge stories I've ever lived through. My name is Nathaniel Hayes, and at 19 years old, my life was blown apart by a lie so monstrous that it would swallow the next 15 years of my future. It was a humid summer night, the kind where the air feels thick enough to choke on. I'd spent the evening helping my Uncle George fix his old Chevy. I remember feeling tired but good. I'd just been accepted into a mechanical engineering program. My future felt bright, hopeful, alive. Then Chloe showed up. My cousin, 2 years younger than me, always quiet, always dramatic in that way teenagers can be. But that night, her eyes were puffy, her voice trembling. She kept wringing her hands like she was about to confess to murder. She walked into our living room, and within seconds, my entire world imploded. I'm pregnant, she said, and it's Nathaniel's. The room went silent, like the universe itself held its breath. My dad turned and looked at me like I had killed someone. His face twisted, red with disbelief and disgust. You what? He screamed at me. My throat closed. I couldn't breathe. I could barely whisper, Dad, I have never... Chloe, what are you talking about? But she just cried harder. Her mother wrapped her in her arms, glaring at me like I was trash. I begged, I swore, I pleaded, but they had already decided. One lie, one accusation, no evidence, no DNA test, no chance. And then my father yelled the words I will never forget. You're a disgrace, get out, he pointed to the door. And I walked out of the house I grew up in with nothing. I left town the next morning, not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't breathe under the weight of that shame. I dropped out of school. My scholarship evaporated the moment my family refused to support me. I worked construction, first as a laborer, then as a foreman, then eventually, after grinding for over a decade, I started my own small business. On the outside, I built myself into someone strong, but inside, I carried 15 years of bitterness, 15 years of being called a monster, 15 years of missing holidays, birthdays, graduations, or everything, because I didn't want to risk bumping into the people who destroyed me. Meanwhile, Chloe, she thrived. Her parents paid for her college, paid for her wedding. Her husband adopted her son, Max. She posted cute family photos on Facebook while I was pouring concrete at 5 a.m. just to survive. Her lie gave her a perfect life, and it took mine. I didn't hear from my family for 15 years. Then one day, I get a message from my sister, Emily. It was short, shaking, terrified. Please call me, it's about Max. My heart dropped. What now? I called her immediately. Her voice was trembling so badly she could barely breathe. Nate, Max did a DNA ancestry test for school. He uploaded it and... Nate, he's not related to you, at all. Silence, my ears rang. And Chloe admitted she lied. Just like that, 15 years of destruction, because she didn't want to admit the truth to her boyfriend at the time. I nearly dropped the phone. Then Emily said the words I never expected to hear. Mom and Dad want to talk. They want to apologize. My chest tightened. A twisted part of me had waited years to hear that, but I felt nothing. Not relief, not satisfaction, just emptiness. Where was this energy when I was 19? When I begged them to believe me, my parents scheduled a family meeting. They wanted closure, reconciliation, forgiveness, but I didn't show up. I didn't owe them that. A month later, my father died, heart attack, and despite everything, he left me a large portion of his estate, a house, savings, investment accounts. The lawyer said he wanted you to have this, Nathaniel. He regretted everything. Regret, huh? Funny how regret comes easier when the truth is convenient. Then came the second blow. The lawyer asked if I wanted to pursue damages for the lie that destroyed my life, emotional distress, lost education, lost income, defamation. My heartbeat slowed. For the first time in years, my chest felt warm instead of cold. Yes, I said, hey, let's do it. Chloe was served papers, $1.5 million in damages. She sobbed, claimed she didn't mean for things to go that far. Said she was young, confused, scared. Where was that fear when she ruined my life? Her husband looked like someone had dropped a nuclear bomb into his living room. Her parents refused to look at me. Good. Court was surreal. I was on the stand explaining how my family threw me out, how I lost my education, how I lived paycheck to paycheck for years, all because of a lie. Chloe broke down. Her mascara ran. She couldn't look at me. She kept whispering, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But none of it mattered. The judge looked at her with pure disappointment. You caused 15 years of measurable harm to an innocent person. And then the gavel hit. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff, $1,500,000 in damages. The courtroom was silent. Chloe covered her face. Her husband stiffened. Her parents stared at the floor like it was swallowing them whole. And me? For the first time in 15 years, my lungs felt full. Not triumphant, not smug, just free. Like the weight I'd been dragging behind me finally snapped off. My mom tried to speak to me afterward, her voice soft and broken. Nathaniel, please, can we fix this? I shook my head. You should have believed me, I said, and that's something I can't unlive. And I walked away, not out of anger, not out of spite, just out of self-respect. I used some of the settlement to grow my construction business. I hired employees, expanded, invested. I also started therapy, because even though the lie had been exposed, the damage lived inside me. Healing wasn't instant, it wasn't clean, but it was possible, and that's when I realized something powerful. I wasn't defined by the lie that ruined my life. I was defined by the strength it took to rebuild it. The DNA test, the courtroom verdict, the public apology, the $1.5 million. All of it together cracked open 15 years of buried injustice. Watching Chloe crumble under the truth, hearing the judge say the words, innocent all along, seeing the same family who kicked me out, unable to look me in the eyes. It wasn't just revenge, it was closure, it was justice. It was the universe finally balancing the scales. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that lies don't stay buried forever. Truth has a way of clawing its way out, even if it takes years. And sometimes, the best revenge isn't anger. It's finally being free. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more insane real-life revenge stories. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if someone ruined 15 years of your life with one lie? Thanks for listening, y'all, and remember, justice always finds its way home.